17. It wants us to, well, it says the equation of the function whose graph is f of x equals absolute value of x minus 2. They put some dots down for you, and I'm thinking that's confusing people more than helping them. But they've just graphed this absolute value function for you. And then they say that the graph of the reciprocal function will have a vertical asymptote where the graph of the original function intersects the x-axis. Why is that? Because that's when y is 0. And that's where we can't have a 0 denominator. So that's why there's going to be an asymptote right there. It says make a sketch of the graph of g of x equals 1 over absolute value of x minus 2. So if we know it's a reciprocal function, we know it's going to have one of these four forms. It's either going to look like this. This is the parent function. This is y equals 1 over x. Or it could look like this one or this one. This one is usually when you have something squared or an absolute value where you can't have negatives. It'll look like this. Or if you take something squared or something that has an absolute value and put a minus sign in front of it, it'll flip it over the axis and it might look like this. So we know that there's going to be an asymptote somewhere and that we're going to have a function that has one of these forms. So we look at it, and actually this picture is trying to help us by saying, guess what? The graph of the reciprocal function is going to go through those points. You can go ahead and plot some points if you want to. I did. I chose -1, 0, and 1 like I always do, but then I realized that those weren't. I realized that the middle of the graph is actually going to be where the asymptote is at 2. 2 is the number that gives me a 0 denominator. So now I see this makes a lot more sense, because this looks like a horizontal shift. You know, when we have x minus h, I think we've been talking about that a little bit. This is actually shifted to the right by 2. So now I'm pretty sure that I know that the graph, it told me it's going through these 2 points. Those 2 points. So now I'm kind of thinking my graph's going to have this shape right here. And since I already did plot some points, I know I can just grab 1, 1, which is right here. And I can grab 3, 1, which is right here. And then if you're just not sure of yourself to draw this, you can plot as many other points as you want. But I've proven to myself that this is correct, because when I look, you know, if I plug in 0, well, I should have made it look like it's going a little closer. If I plug in 0, that looks like about a half. -1, see, it's getting smaller and smaller as it goes down toward the x-axis. And same thing over here. See, when I plug in 3, I get 1. When I plug in 4, it's getting smaller. It's going to get smaller and smaller. So this is fine for your answer. If you want to just kind of take the shortcut that they're giving you, then you could just get a pencil out. Let me show you an easy way. Just get a pencil out and say, oh, I know there's an asymptote wherever it touches the x-axis, and draw your asymptote, and then we know that it goes through these 2 points, so you could just go like that and take a really shortcut.